Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review Grizzly Park. Paddington's lost his marmalade, and he's pissed.
Written and directed by Tom Scull, Grizzly Park is about 8 delinquents that are forced to do community service at Grizzly Park, but little did they know that it was a death sentence. So what did we like about this movie?
I liked Trickster, Scab, and Ryan. The three of them on screen had great chemistry.
Oh, who knows, maybe tomorrow night the girls will be scared and want to be in our cabin.
I'm starting to like you, Trickster.
I don't get it.
I didn't expect this to be a comedy going in, because at first it started out pretty serious, and then it just these moments where you just burst out laughing. Some of the dialogue was actually really good. All these guys had emotion, and they had what appeared to be good acting skills.
No,
I think you're completely wrong.
they did deliver their lines good, and their characters were fine, but
Superman does good. They did it well.
There definitely was stuff that was on for way too long.
We did have a lot of reasonable cinematography. They tried different things by putting a camera way up into trees. They had some great stock footage of fire ants and owls.
And don't forget, upside down shots.
I love that they actually used a real fucking bear. I like the selection of babes we had.
That's all we're going to talk about, the grizzly bear?
Oh, we can talk about more.
Okay, go ahead.
We barely talked about the live action grizzly bear. I can't imagine what it would have cost to actually have a live bear on set. An actual bear getting really close to humans and interacting with them, which is unbelievable for a movie of this caliber.
You know, I gotta say, best actor goes to Brody, the bear. He played the part perfect.
I was a big fan of all of the babes.
The best part about these babes is that they were barely covered.
Chicks, man. Candy.
Lola, my Latin lover, she was the hottest. Specifically when she was on her top bunk with her face down and her ass in an awkward up position. It looked really weird. Nobody sits like that.
But BB, played by Emily Baldoni from Ghost to Girlfriend's Past, best scene, her leaving the shower, just running up to that camera in her frilly underwear.
In general, the movie had some pretty decent practical effects towards the end of the movie. It was shot well. The music and audio was all done fairly well with the exception of some looping shots that they did later.
Now it's time for our favorite kills.
I'm going to kick it off with the first practical kill of the movie, which was Trickster. This guy had a fucking stupid bear costume, and he just awkwardly comes out of the forest. The bear's right behind him and swats his head off. What's awesome, it only knocked half of his head off. His jaw was just sitting there. You could still see his tongue. It was just fucking super gory and graphic, and the bear head rolls onto the ground and you can see the other half of his head. It was done very, very well.
So my favorite kill goes out to Ryan. They lock themselves in some kind of shed, and then it's just fake looking bear paws pull him completely out of the window. Pops back in, his skull is flapping, he's cut up, there's blood everywhere, and the girls are just trying to pull him in as he's screaming and the bear's fighting it, and you just see Ryan's hand squeeze BB's boob, and it was so funny that we all just bursted out laughing. Next thing, arms just get ripped right off, we got a little bit of blood, some cool practical effects, but the boob grab is what really made this kill awesome.
My favorite kill is actually the last kill of this movie. BB is the sole survivor of the teens. All of a sudden, Grizzly Bear pops out of nowhere and just swipes her across the chest, and you see this silicone piece fly out, hit the tree, ooze down, and you see her breast is gone. And then she falls down dead, and that's when we realize that all the jokes about her having fake boobs are true. So what didn't we like about this movie?
I gotta kick it off with the worst part about this movie was the off-screen kills. There were way too many of them. I thought this was a TV movie for the first hour.
I thought they were going to commercial break a few times with some oddly placed fade to blacks.
I didn't like that we weren't sure what kind of movie this was. We didn't know if it was being satirical or not.
What happened there? Oh, I had a tire blowout on my way to do the pickup. Spilled my Yahoo all over myself.
I didn't like some of the scenes that went nowhere. Sometimes the sheriff would come in and they would talk about something and then it would move on to the next scene. Nowhere did that affect the rest of the story.
They just couldn't complete their scenes.
Generally in movies when they have plot lines that go nowhere, I don't mind it because it kind of adds some mystery to the movie, but this movie had way too many plot lines that went nowhere. So what are our final thoughts and ratings? I actually enjoyed this movie. The storyline was well done and the actors were actually great. I love the practical effects. I love the actual live grizzly bear. And actually some of the twists in the storyline were unexpected and exciting. So with all that said, I'm going to give this movie 4.5 forest cats out of 5.
I thought it was a forest cat.
Well, it started off slow. Grizzly Park picked up about 75% into the movie, and it became really cool. The acting was terrible in a very funny and hilarious way. It's a so bad, it's good kind of movie. I give them props for their practical effects and having a live bear on set for sure. The cinematography was fairly decent. They had a lot of cool camera angles, and I thought that the story was reasonable. Mind you, I could have done without some of the shitty fucking plot holes. Considering this type of movie, I'm gonna give this 3.2 trips to Scabland out of 5.
15's legal on the land of Scab.
We had really good looking chicks, a live bear, really cool practical effects, and the movie overall was really enjoyable. The first half, kind of boring and it took a little away from me, but it really picked up at the end. And it's worth waiting to the end, because the kills were awesome. So that being said, I'm going to give this movie 3 Haggles with a Hooker out of 5.
I get 5,000 a night.
I got $5.
I get sex free.
Well, that's what we thought about the movie. If you've seen it, let us know in the comments below. Like this video if you like our review, and sub to the channel to stay updated with the reviews and our games of What Would You Do. If you want to request a movie, let us know, because this was actually a request from Brad Mills, who was the writer and director of The Legend of the Psychotic Forest Ranger, which we reviewed recently on our channel, and I'm pretty sure he thought we weren't going to like it as much as we did. So let us know if you think there's another movie that we should review that you think we might hate. Check us out at Bloodbath_TV on Twitter.